Hello everyone, myself Sagar Gunani from Elite Careers and this video lecture is on average part 1. Before going further, we need to understand this term average. Now what is average? Mostly the concept of average is used to represent a group of data with a single value. For example, in a group of data there are multiple values. Now it becomes very tedious to remember each and every value inside that group. So what we can do is we can represent that group of data with a single value, and that value is nothing but the average of all the data inside that group. Now in order to understand the concept of average, let's take an example. Let's say that we have a group of people. Then in this group each and every individual is having different height. So we have a data of a height of all the individual inside that group. Now it becomes very difficult to remember the height of each and every individual. So what we can do is we can represent that group with a single value. That value is nothing but the average of all the average of heights, and that value is nothing but the average value of height which will represent the entire group. Now how can we find that average value? So average is nothing but the sum of height of all the individual inside that group upon total number of individuals. Once we will apply this formula, we will get a single value, and that single value will represent the entire group, and in that case we don't need to remember the height of each and every individual inside that group. Instead of that, we can represent that entire group with a single value, that is the average value of height. Fine. Now this concept of average is also applicable to represent a weather. For example, at each and every second temperature is varying. Now we can't represent the weather with the help of a temperature which is varying each and every second, because then you will be having a number of data which will represent the temperature. So instead of that, what we can do is that if we have a group of data which varies with respect to time, then we will take the average value of that data and replace it with a single value of temperature. That will be the average temperature within a day. So average temperature will be what? Sum of all the data which is obtained at each and every second divided it with the total number of time during which that data is measured. So from that we will get one single value, and that single value will represent the temperature during a day. Fine. This concept of average is also applicable in a cricket match. For example, in a match, team scores a run, and run scores by a batsman varies during each and every over. Now it becomes very difficult to judge in which over the batsman has scored more runs and in which over batsman has scored less runs. So in order to compare two overs, what we can do is we can find out the average run scored by batsman in each and every over. Fine. So that is nothing but the run rate. Run scored by batsman during each and every over will be nothing but a run rate, and that run rate is nothing but an average. Now let's move further to a formal definition of average. The main term of average is nothing but the equal distribution of value among all which may distribute a person or thing. Now what is the meaning of this statement? Equal distribution of value. In the previous example, we have an individual with different heights. Now as all the individuals were having different heights, what we have done is we have found an average value of height of all that individuals inside that group, and that average value is a single value. Fine. And that average value is a single value which will represent that entire group. So you can say that now that individual inside the group is not represented by its own height, but they will be represented by the average height, and that average height will not be an exact height of all the individuals. But in order to make our task easier, what we can do is each and every individual is having a height of approximately H average. right? We can't say that this particular person has this much height, this particular person has that much height. No, we won't represent that individual with its respective height. Instead of that, we will represent the height of each and every individual as the approximated height, that is H average. So you can say that it is an equal distribution of value among all the persons or things. Now we obtain the average of number using the formula, that is sum of observation upon total number of observation. For example, if you want to find out the average height, then sum of all the height of all the individuals upon total number of individuals will give the average height. Let's move to the next. Now we will understand some rules related to average. In the arithmetic progression, when the number of terms is odd, the average will be the middle term, and when the number of terms is even, then average will be the average of two middle terms. Now, first of all, we need to understand this term arithmetic progression. What is this term? For example, you have a group of data. Let's say that that group of data is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So this is a group of data which consists of 5 numbers. Now, if you arrange those numbers in an increasing order, this is the numbers which are arranged in an increasing order, that is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So if you arrange the data in the increasing order or in the decreasing order, anyway, any one of that way, but the numbers should be in a proper order. So these numbers are arranged in the decreasing order 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now if you take the difference of first two number, then 3 minus 1 is 2. If you take the difference of third and second number, 5 minus 3 is also 2. If we take the difference of fourth and third number, 7 minus 5 is 2. Same way, 9 minus 7 is 2. Here, difference is common. Difference is common between two consecutive numbers. These are the two consecutive numbers. Fine. So, between the two consecutive numbers, in a group of data which are arranged in increasing or decreasing order, then if the difference between two consecutive numbers is fixed, here the difference between two consecutive numbers is what? 2, 2, 2, 2. So this difference is common. So whenever difference between two consecutive number is common, that is considered as common difference. So over here common difference is represented by D. So D is equal to 2. That is common difference for two consecutive terms in a group of data is 2. Such kind of a group of data is considered as to be in arithmetic progression. Understood? So when you can say that the group of data is in arithmetic progression, when the difference between two consecutive terms is constant, and that constant value could be anything. Over here it is 2, but it could be anything. Fine. Now over here first term of the group of data is 1. So that first term is represented by the variable A. So A over here is 1. From this group of data, value of A is nothing but the first term of the arithmetic progression, that is A, and D is nothing but the common difference in this group of data, that is D. So D over here is 2 and A over here is 1. You need to remember these variables. What is the meaning of that variable? That you should know it. So A is nothing but the initial value of the group of data and D is nothing but the common difference. Now let us understand what is Tn. Tn is nothing but the nth term of the arithmetic progression. What is the meaning of nth term? Let's say that you have a group of data. The example which we have taken initially, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. In this case, value of A is nothing but the initial term or the first term of the arithmetic progression. D is the common difference, which is 2. Now nth term is what? Let's say that I want to find out the third term of the group of data, because here there are only 5 terms, so we can calculate that the fifth term is 9. But let's say that we have a group of data that is group of odd numbers. Group of odd numbers means what? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, it will go on up to infinity. So we can't judge that what will be the 25th term, what will be the 26th term. Then it will be a very difficult thing to judge until and unless we will write all the numbers up to 26. up to 26 terms in that group. So how many terms are there over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say that 5 terms are there, and we need to find out what is the value of fourth term. We already know that the value of fourth term is 7, but still we will apply this formula and find out the fourth term in this series. So what is A? A over here is 1. So in the nth term, A is 1 plus n minus 1. How many terms are there in the series? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 terms are there. N is equal to 5. So 5 minus 1 is what? 5 minus 1 is 4. Right? And D is the common difference, which is 2. So 4 into 2 is 8, and 1 plus 8 is 9. So you can say that the nth term means what? Fifth term. Here n I have taken as 5. Right, so fifth term in this series is 9. Now if I want to find out what is the fourth term, then you have to take n is equal to 4. If you take n is equal to 4, that is the fourth term in this group, then in this formula, a plus n minus 1 will be a is 1, 4 minus 1 is 3, so over here it will be 3, and d is 2. So 3 2s are 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. So fourth term over here is 7. Fine. So in this way, we can find out the nth term of that group. Fine. Now let us understand a second term over here, that is sum of n terms in the arithmetic progression. This formula is only for the group in which the data are in arithmetic progression. Let's say that we need to find out the sum of numbers in the arithmetic progression. Let's take this same example, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now what is the summation of all the numbers inside that group? It will be 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9. So you will get one value. But we will go with the data so as to justify that this formula is correct. So Sn is what? As sum of n terms. So over here there are 5 terms. So n will be 5. So what is the summation of 5 terms? It will be 5 by 2. N is what? 5 terms by 2 into 2a. A is what? 1 over here. So 2 into 1 is 1 plus n minus 1. So 5 terms are there. 5 minus 1 is 4 into d. What is common difference? 2. So this will be what? 2 plus 8 is nothing but 10. This value is 10. 2 will get cancelled with 10, and that will be 5. So 5 into 5 will be 25. So answer over here is 25. Now if you add this thing, 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16, 16 plus 9 is also 25. Now suppose if you want to find out the summation of first 3 terms in the arithmetic progression, then n in this formula will be 3. So that will be 3 by 2 into 2a plus 3 minus 1 into d. Understood? So Sn is what? Sum of n terms in the arithmetic progression. Now I hope that you understood these 2 terms in the arithmetic progression. Now going further, we will understand the rule which is given over here. When the number of terms is odd in the arithmetic progression, then the average of that group will be the middle term. For example, we have a group of data 13, 15, 17, 19, 21. This is the group of data. Right? There are total 5 numbers. First number is 13, and these numbers are arranged in the increasing order. And if you see the common difference, then this common difference over here is 2. So if common difference over here is 2, it means that these data are in what? Arithmetic progression. And this rule number 1 is applicable only for the arithmetic progression. Mind well, right? So when the group of data are in arithmetic progressions, then you can say that this is first number is 13, 15, 17, 19 and 21. Now there are total 5 terms. What is the middle term over here? Middle term over here is 17. So average of all the 5 numbers is what? 17. This is the short trick of the arithmetic progression. So number of terms is what? Number of terms means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 terms are there. So 5 is what? Odd number. Fine. So when the number of terms are odd, then what is the average? Average is the middle term. So what is the middle term over here? 1, 2, 3. Third term is the middle term. So average is what? 17. Fine. Now, if you find out, if you want to find the average with the formula, what you can do is you can add all the numbers over here, that is 13 plus 15 plus 17 plus 19 plus 21, and if you add all the five numbers, divide by total number of numbers are what, 5. So if you add all these things and divided it with 5, you will get the value equal to 17. If you want to try, you can try it by your own. Same way, what the other statements say, when the number of terms is even, then the average will be the average of two middle terms. For example, we have an arithmetic progression, same example, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So if you see that difference over here is 2, 2, 2, 2 and 2. How many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 terms are there. This is the arithmetic progression. So if there are total 6 terms, it means number of terms is even, then average will be what? Average of two middle terms. So two middle terms are what? These are the two middle terms, 17 and 19. Fine. So these are the two middle terms. What is the average of these two terms? The 17 and 19 average will be 18, but obvious 17 plus 19 by 2, so that will be 18. So the answer over here is average will be 18. Fine, that is the average of two middle terms. Now let us understand rule number 2. The average of series which is in arithmetic progression can be calculated by 1 by 2 into first term plus last term. Now in rule number 1, we have found out that if number of terms are odd, then average will be the middle term, and number of terms is even, then average will be the average of two middle terms. Now rule number 2 says that when the series is in AP, series means what? Group of data. Then the average can be calculated directly with the formula 1 by 2 into first term plus last term. For example, we have a series 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So this is an arithmetic progression because common difference is 2. So average can be easily be given by 1 by 2 into first term, that is 1, plus last term, that is 9. So 10 by 2 is nothing but 5. So the average of this group data is 5 directly from the formula. Or you can go through the traditional approach, that is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9, and then divide by total number of that is total data. So total data over here is 5. By that also you can do, but this rule will give you a value of average when series is in AP directly with the help of formula. Let's take an example over here. What is the average of 216, 217 and 218? So there are total 3 terms and they are in arithmetic progression because common difference over here is 1. Now average will be 1 by 2 into 216, that is first term, plus last term, that is 218. So average will be turn out to be 217. Rule number 3. If average of n number is a and if we add x to each term, then new average will be a plus x. Fine. What is the meaning of this? For example, we have 5 terms over here, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Right. What is the average of these 5 terms? We have already seen from this formula that it is 1/2 of first term plus last term. So the average of this group is, average of this group A is equal to 5. Now if we add x, x is nothing but a positive number. Let's say that if we add x to each term, then what will be the average? Fine. Now if we add 2 to each term, if we add 2 to each term, then 1 will be what? 1 plus 2, that is 3. 3 will be what? 3 plus 2, that is 5. If we add 2 to each term, then 5 plus 2 becomes 7, 7 plus 2 becomes 9, and 9 plus 2 becomes 11. Then what will be the new average? New average will also will be original average plus 2, right? So previous average was 5, so new average A dash will be what? 5 plus 2, that is equal to 7. Fine. So new average will also get added by the term by which each and every terms has been added. So here each and every term has been added by x value, then the new average will be a plus x. Now if the average of n term is a and if we multiply each term, then the new average will be a into p. This is also similar to the previous rule that if we multiply each and every term, then also average will get multiplied with that term. If we take the same example 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, And if we multiply each and every term with 5, then average will also get multiplied by 5. Now this rule 3 and rule 4 are very important for any competitive exam. Now let's move to the next. Question number 1 of averages. The average weight of 48 students of a class is 36 kg. If the weight of teacher and principal is included, the average becomes 36.76 kg. Find the sum of weight of teacher and principal. Now, this is a common problem related to averages. Average is what? It is sum of data upon total number of datas. Fine. Now there are total 48 students. So n is equal to 48 and average is 36. So what is the sum of weight of all the students? Sum of weight of all the students will be equal to what? Average into number of students. Average is 36 and number of students is 48. So sum of all the weights of students will be what? 36 into 48. Now it has been told that if weight of teacher and principal is included, then average becomes 36.76. So teacher and principal means what? There are two persons which is added in this 48 students group. So this is the sum of 48 students. Now if we consider teacher and principal, then average is 36.76 into how many people are there in this group? 48 students plus teacher plus principal. So 48 plus 2, there are total 50 persons in a group, including 48 student, teacher and principal. So there are total 50 students. So this is what? This is the sum, second sum, and this second sum consists of what? Sum of all the weights of 48 student, teacher and principal. Now we got two sum over here. If we subtract those two sums, we will get weight of what? Teacher and principal. So you can say that the sum of weights of teacher and principal is equal to what? New average into number of students minus existing average into number of students. So new average is what? 36.76 into 50, and what is the existing average? 36 into 48. So if you multiply all these things and subtract the data, you will get the answer as 110 kg. So this 110 is what? It is the summation of weight of teacher and principal, because this is the sum which consists of weight of teacher and principal also, and this sum consists of the weights of only students. So if we subtract these two data, that is these two summations, you will get the summation of weight of teacher and principal. Next problem, question number 2. What is the average of first 30 multiples of 9? Now see, whenever you come across problems related to averages, we need to know the nature of data over here. What is the nature of data? Let's say that there are 30 multiples of 9. So 30 multiples of 9 means what? 9 ones are 1, 9 twos are 18, 9 threes are 27, 9 fours are 36. So how many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4. And there are total 30 terms like this which are multiple of 9. Now if you see that, then it will be, if you go through it directly by the formula, then it will be very tedious task, because you need to write 30 terms, then you have to do addition of that 30 terms, and then you have to divide it by 30 to get the average. But if you look at carefully, this question is giving you a hint. What is the hint this question is giving you? The hint is this data is in arithmetic progression. When the data can be considered as arithmetic progression? When there is a common difference between two consecutive terms. Here data is arranged in increasing order, and if you see that the difference between two consecutive terms over here is what? 18 minus 9 is 9. So difference between two consecutive terms is over here is 9. What is the first term? First term over here is also 9. Fine. So if you see the difference between two consecutive data, it is 9 and first term is 9. So simply we will apply the formula of average for arithmetic progression. Fine. So average is what? Sum divided by total number of data. Now we have a formula for sum of n numbers in the arithmetic progression, and that formula is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. This is sum, and average is what? Sum upon total number of data. So this will get divided by n so as to get the average. Fine. So when this formula is divided by n, you will get the average. Now Number of terms over here is 30 terms because we need to find out the summation of all the 30 terms. First term over here is 9 and common difference is also 9. So sum of 30 term will be 30 by 2 into 2 into 9 plus 30 minus 1 into 9. So sum turns out to be 4185. Now this is the sum of 30 multiples of 9. Now average will be what? Summation divided by total number of terms. There are 30 terms over here. So 4185 divided by 30. Answer will be 139.5. Next problem. Question number 3. Find the average of 10 consecutive multiples of 12 starting from the fifth multiple. Starting from the fifth multiple means what? 12 into 5, 12 into 6, 12 into 7. So this is the fifth multiple of 12. This is sixth multiple of 12. So these are 10 consecutive multiples of 12. 10 consecutive means what? 1, 2, 3 and so on. So you will get total 10 multiples of 12 up to what? Starting from 5 and ending up to 15. Right? So from 5 to 15 you will get 5 to 14 you will get 10 consecutive multiples. So you can say that from 5 to 14 there are 10 consecutive multiples of 12. So simply we will use the formula of average. This is the symbol of average, x bar. X bar is what? It is the symbol of average. And what is the summation? Symbol of summation is sigma x, and n is nothing but number of datas. So x bar is equal to sigma x by n. What is sigma x? Sum of all the terms. So first term is 12 into 5, second term is 12 into 6, and we have total 10 consecutive terms which are multiple of 12. So you will get 10 terms up from 5 to 14 divided by 10. Now if you see and observe this data, then you will see that 12 is common in all the data. So we will take 12 as common and it divide by 10. 12 divided by 10 and into the summation of all the terms, that is 5, 6, 7 up to 14. Fine. So this is the second step. Now what is the third step? We can say that this series is in arithmetic progression. Why arithmetic progression? Because difference between two consecutive terms is 1. Now we can represent this series into two arithmetic series. What is the two arithmetic series? Summation from 1 to 14 minus summation from 1 to 4. Understood? Now we could have directly solved this summation from the arithmetic progression. How? Let's say that in this arithmetic progression, first term is 5, common difference is 1, and total number of terms over here is 10. So simply apply the formula Sn is equal to what? N by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So simply you would have got the answer from this data itself. But in this case I have used the another approach because I want to prove one point over here. And what is that point? Let's move further. So you might have understood that this could be easily found out from the formula of Sn of the arithmetic progression, considering a as 5, d as 1 and n as 10. But over here what I have done is I have chosen another approach. I have taken summation from 1 to 14 and subtract the summation from 1 to 4. So if 1 to 14 sum is there and if you subtract 1 to 4 sum, then definitely you will get summation from 5 to 14. So this is nothing but the rearrangement of the terms. Fine. Now sum of first and natural number. Sum of first and natural number direct formula is there which you need to remember for any competitive exam, and that is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. Now in order to show you this formula I have used this approach. Fine. Or you could have directly solved the summation from the arithmetic progression itself. Now sum of n terms formula is n into n plus 1 by 2. N natural numbers, right? So you can say that n terms in a natural number. So these are natural numbers 1, 2, 3. So these are the natural numbers having common difference 1 starting from 1. So what is the summation of all natural numbers? N into n plus 1 by 2. This is the direct formula. So these are the 14 natural numbers. 14 first n natural numbers. This is the first 4 natural numbers starting from 1. Now this formula is applicable when the series or the group of data start from 1 and common difference is also 1. So series start from 1 and common difference is also 1. A is equal to 1, D is equal to 1. Now if you see that this is also series in arithmetic progression, what was the formula for Sn? A n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So this was the formula for summation in the arithmetic progression. This is also an arithmetic progression. How you got this data, how you got this formula, we will prove this formula over here. Let's say that a is 1 over here and common difference is also 1, and there are total n terms. Let's say that there are total n terms. So we will keep n as a variable itself. 2a will be what? 2 into 1, and n minus 1 into d. So d will also be 1. So this formula of Sn will be what? Sn will be what? N by 2 into 2a. 2a is what? 2 plus n minus 1 into d. d is also 1. So n minus 1. So what is this? N plus 2 minus 1 is what? N plus 1. So this is turns out to be what? N into n plus 1 by 2, which is the given formula. Understood? So if there are n consecutive terms, right, and the common difference is 1 and the first term is 1, then the sum is what? N into n plus 1 by 2. So for the first 14 terms, it will be 14 into 15 by 2, and in the first 4 terms, it will be 4 into 5 by 2. So answer over here will be 114, that is 114. Next problem, question number 4. The average of 4 consecutive even number is 29. Find the largest of these numbers. 4 consecutive even number. Now whenever you have an even number, what is the common difference? Let's say that this is the even numbers. For example, this is a series of even numbers. Then the common difference will be what? Common difference will be 2. Right? So you can say that we don't know these 4 consecutive even numbers. Let's say that first number is x, then second will be x plus 2. Why x plus 2? If we keep x plus 1, then this will be even, then the second term x plus 1 will be odd. But we want 4 consecutive even number. So first term will be x, second will be x plus 2, third will be x plus 4, and fourth will be x plus 6. Now the average of this 4 consecutive even number is 29. So average is what? Sum of the terms upon total terms. So you will get 4x plus 12 by 4, and that is equal to 29. So from this equation we can solve for x, and the value of x is equal to 26. Now we need to find out the largest of these numbers. So if x is equal to 26, largest number is what? X plus 6. So 26 plus 6 is equal to 32. The largest number over here is 32. Next problem, question number 5. Calculate the average of square of natural number from 1 to 21. Square of natural number means what? 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, up to what? Up to 21 square. Now we need to find out average of all these natural numbers, square of natural numbers. Now there is a direct formula over here. What is the direct formula? Sum of squares of all the natural number from 1 to n. Sum of squares of all the natural number. Natural number means what? 1 and 2 consecutive difference is 1. So 1 square, 2 square, 3 square. These are the natural numbers square. So sum of all the natural numbers, n natural numbers. N means what? It could be any number. Fine. So sum of all the natural numbers, square of natural numbers is what? N into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. Right? And average is what? Average is what? X bar is equal to sum divided by total number of data. Right, so this will get divided by n. So 6, instead of 6 I have written 6n. So x bar is equal to what? N will get cancelled, and you will get n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. So what is n over here? N over here is 21, because we need to find out average of first 21 natural numbers. So 21 plus 1 into 2 into 21 by 21 plus 1 by 6. So answer will be what? Answer is 473. Fine. So in this question, if sum of square of natural number is asked, then you have to remember this formula of sum, and from that sum you have to find out the average, that is sum of numbers upon total number of data. So this is the end of first part of averages. Thanks for watching.